in the right spot. Sometimes I would get rebounds as well, and rebound goals. So turns out that these one-touch finishes I can actually do reasonably well, which shocked me. Fredrik Svana is the younger. I played him in another Title Tuesday as well. He's the younger brother of Rasmus. He's still a bit higher rated, but I think Fredrik is pretty talented and he's pretty booked up. So that's why he plays this Bishop C5 line, which is one of the big. So now he plays with Knight C6 on Knight D4. Is this the point? Okay, let me avoid the trade. Usually in that position, black goes A6. Sorry, H6 to prevent Bishop G5, but maybe it's not necessary. Does he want Bishop G4 now? F5, Knight F5, F3, Knight F5. Maybe that was actually possible. Okay, let's just protect this and then try and develop. Yeah, I was worried that he might go for a quick C6 and then D5. Now I kind of have to play this somewhat dull structure. Because maybe he should have gone for a quick Bishop E6 there. I don't know. I feel like my knight is not very good on C3, so I want to move it somewhere else. Probably here and then maybe here. Also now I give better protection to C4, which means that I don't have to take on B5, which I think would be a concession. And his knight is pretty short of squares, so he may want to reroute it like this. So queen b7. I think I'm quite happy to go bishop a5. I'm not thrilled about exchanging those bishop potentially, but I am gaining some dark squares here if he trades. Maybe he wants c5 now? Don't think I'm too unhappy to see that though. Oh, I was about to go rook d2, but I think b4 and then knight c6. My queen is in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, maybe I may have underestimated this plan, but I'm still really solid. So I don't think I'm really worse, but I'm probably not better. So he locks up the center. This is looking like a little bit like those Sveshnikov lines where white goes for an early c4. The structure would be the same without the pawns in c5 and e3. And now my pawn on e3, while it's obviously doubled, it does do a good job of protecting the square on d4, meaning that he could never put a knight there. And even though he gets he does get a4, I don't think it does a whole lot. So he allows me to take, which is double-edged. I'm not sure it's good. ef4, but now at least my pawns are semi-mobile, and once again I'm not sure he's really achieving all that much on the queen side here. So he's gonna go rook a2 most probably, and my knight has been on b2 for long, so it's time to bring it to d3 soon. So I'll go queen b1 and then knight d3. And next I can probably go knight f2 and then rook d2. And just like in those positions that you get with in the Sveshnikov, like b3 is the only sort of have weakness that white has, and the rooks don't really do all that much on the a file. So I guess now I'll go for e5. Queen coming to g6, also a lot of pressure here. But this should lose. But does it though? Okay, let me go knight g4 first, introducing a fork. Now rook d8 is a big threat. He could go e4 and then hide the king on h7, but I think I have way too much activity there. Okay, he just resigned. Okay. b3, huh? Well, let's go b5 then. It's about fun? Modding is about fun? Seems hard to believe. What should I do here? c6? I played this with reversed colors quite a bit. Even in like half serious games. Or actually pretty serious games. Then I usually take on f3. Then I go knight e7 and I go g6. But that plan clearly doesn't work here. So I'll have to go g6 and then bishop b2, knight f6. Maybe I should have gone like for immediate. Well, now that he goes for d4, I think I'm pretty fine. But yeah, so I was gonna say I don't have the flexibility of thought to go the other way, to come up with a new plan when my regular plan doesn't work. So I'm just trying my regular plan and hoping it's gonna work. Man played 1b4 and is gonna win. Do you mean my opponent playing b3, or do you mean a different game? Because I don't think he's gonna win. Sure, he has a good position now, but will he still have a good position in 20 moves? We'll see. Before I can go a5 maybe? Kind of like a5. So this is the plan. d4 is still weak. Like, he has a lot of potential here on the queen side, but I don't hate my position. It's very solid. It's like one of those Alekhine lines where you change on f3, and white has a big queen side, but d4 is really weak, and you have all your pawns on light squares, so you're very solid as black. I think you're misinterpreting the job. You're not interviewing to be me, you're interviewing to be a mod. a3 seems a bit soft. I'll just aim for some of those squares, like c4, b5 maybe for my knight. I'm not worried about letting him into c5 because I always have knight b5 or knight f5 with counterplay against d4. He's really spending a lot of time threatening a fork and a3, and I don't think he can protect both. Book me in for the interview, but I'm definitely not in Norwegian time. I'll have to come back to Canada. probably will be back in Canada at some point. I liked being in Canada. Better than being in the US, actually. And thus I did fail the challenge of complimenting Canada without slighting the US, which I think is a very tough challenge. Wait a sec. He has some knight a5. So it's not so easy. Knight a3, there's rook a1, so I have to take with the rook. Now knight c4. Takes. I will be a pawn up with reasonable winning chances. But I was hoping for even more. But realistically, I don't think he'll hold. Should I go for h5, g3? Okay, let's go queen b2 and then bishop d4. Or at least hoping for bishop d4. I'll probably just have to be patient here. I can take it, then plant the rook on the second, but I don't think I should for now. Hoping for potential rook b2. Okay, let's go rook b2, queen c6 now. Rook on b1, rook d1, we go rook b4, preparing a possible bishop d4. Now we fortify the bishop with e5. And then rook b2. And magically he has to resign, but